Hello, welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. That was a fantastic goal. The game match day 10 between Ikorodu City, the only community-based team in the Nigerian Premier Football League, breaking the jinx, that unbeaten run of Rivers United in the Nigerian Premier Football League. We'll get to that and other stories on the show this morning. I've got Wilfred Shiando with me in the studio this morning. Welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV.
Good morning, Mr. Fash.
Okay, let's start from beach volleyball before we talk football. This time around, I always say this on our show that the Nigerian Volleyball Federation is one of the federations that is getting it right. Yeah, this time around, Bauchi State has been named host of the National Star Tour final phase, where we'll see all of the 8 teams that have made it through to the final tour of the beach volleyball tournament, where talents are being scouted for the national team. So Bauchi State has been selected to host the final phase tour. And when it comes to beach volleyball, yes, take nothing away from the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, because they have been doing a fantastic job with these sports in Nigeria. And just of recent, because of the exploits of the president of the federation, that is Engineer Musa Nimrod. Yeah, he was voted the president of the CAF Zone 3B here on the continent of Africa, and is to tell you his wealth of experience when it comes to volleyball, not just beach volleyball alone.
It is actually a very huge one for us because, before now, a lot of attention was just channeled to football, but it's actually a very good thing now that, we've been able to extend our attention to other aspects of the sport, so the beach volleyball is actually one aspect that we can, use to create, to bring out some potentials in some of the youth, and then hopefully give them, a bigger stage to express themselves. So, initiating a very wonderful initiative like that, for me, I think is a very good one, and it's just about time we're going to be recognized globally, I think so.
Okay, we are going to be recognized globally. This team, that is Nigerian beach volleyball team, has they came close twice, making it to the Olympics, Tokyo 2020, and the last one was Paris Olympic Games, though we didn't get to qualify. But the thing is, the federation is working hard to see that, yes, by 2028 in Los Angeles, we'll have our beach volleyball team playing in the Olympics. I know that is the target of the federation, and also the target of the president of Nigerian Volleyball Federation, Engineer Musa Nimrod. All right, stay talking other sports before football. This time around, we'll go straight to Benin, where the Atlantic Conference, we have two conferences, the Atlantic Conference and the Savannah Conference. The Savannah Conference was wrapped up at the Refi in Jos, Plateau State, and then in Benin City, Rivers Hoopers, who are the defending champions of the Nigerian Men's Basketball League. Also, they've taken one step further again. This time around, looking forward to defend the title they won last by becoming champions in the Atlantic Conference, beating Hoops Reed 18-78 in a very contested game to be crowned champions of the Atlantic Conference. The Kingsmen, yeah, definitely, they are still going to fight it out when the final 8 comes calling. But first, they've taken the bold step by winning their own conference.
As far as basketball is concerned, in our domestic, environment, Rivers Hoopers are one team that you cannot, write them off when it comes to, an event like this. So, coming all the way to claim the championship, I think it's actually a very good one. I think they have good number of players also playing for the Tigers. So it shows that they are well prepared, and what they've gotten so far is just part of where they're going to, because in the end, we have a very good team, representing Nigeria. It won't just be about playing the domestically, but when teams like this perform well in a championship like this, it gives you a hope that you're going to have a very formidable team, a national team. So when it comes to the national team, we're all the Tigers. It's not about Rivers Hoopers or
the Tigers.
They are the Tigers. So it's actually going to be a very good one, for the development, and with good attention given to them. I think they also need motivation. I keep emphasizing strongly on this because in the end, what matters most is motivation. So how motivated are these teams, and how motivated are the players? And if the players are way equipped and way motivated, trust me, we have different talent in different field of discipline, and just basketball is just one of the numerous field of disciplines we have good talent in.
Yes, a good talent ground for our own players. For Rivers Hoopers, they are the defending champions of the Nigerian Men's Football League, and now, like I said, they've taken the very first step of defending the title they won last by winning the Atlantic Conference against Hoops Reed in that well-contested game at the Samuel Ogbemedia Stadium. They make it to the final 8, and the final 8, where the venue has not been decided yet, but the final 8 will run through. That is from the 13th to 19th November 2024. Like I said, the venue has not been decided yet. They went 7 games unbeaten in all of the games they played for Rivers Hoopers. In their last game against Hoops and Reed, everybody thought, because that's the only team that could have stand the firepower of Rivers Hoopers. But at the end of the game, they were really overpowered by Rivers Hoopers. And Rivers Hoopers, like you mentioned, they have a very formidable team, well structured. No wonder we saw what they did at the Basketball League Africa, coming third.
I said it earlier. The team is formidable. The team is organized and well motivated. Even though if you look at the situation in Rivers now, it's political anyway. But the teams, the football team, the basketball team, and other aspects of the sport are being given a very good attention and very good motivation. So coming all the way to claim this championship, as I said earlier, it's not a fluke. And then let's see how far they go.
Okay, let's see how far Rivers Hoopers can go in the final 8. Will they win the title again? It's not left to be seen when the game starts on the 13th, running through 19th November 2024. No venue has been decided yet by the Nigerian Basketball Federation, but we are fingers crossed waiting for that venue, and then we'll see all of the 8 teams that have made it through to the final 8 of the Nigerian Men's Basketball League. Still talking about basketball, but this time around we thought go straight to the continent. Yes, it is the FIBA organized tournament for the African Zone 3 qualifiers. We have, because just a month ago thereabout, the ladies concluded their own league, where MFM are the champions, and for Nigerian Customs of Abuja, they came second to MFM, who defeated them in the final. But these 2 teams would be representing Nigeria at the FIBA Africa Zone 3 qualifiers. 2 of them, Customs and MFM. These 2 teams, about 7 teams will be participating in these qualifiers. Just the way the men will also do it after playing the men's league, we also have the men going through this qualifier. But for MFM and Customs, representing us at the FIBA Africa Zone 3 qualifiers.
It's about mental stability, adequate preparation, and readiness. So if the team representing us, if they are ready, if they are well coordinated, trust me, I've never had any doubt when it comes to talent in different aspect of games, different sport. It could be football, it could be basketball, it could be anything. But as far as Nigeria is concerned, we're the giant of Africa, and we are blessed with huge talent. And then all we just need is to create an enabling environment for this talent to be properly harnessed. Give them that stepping ground, give them a conducive environment, and then trust me, the rest will be historical.
But the rest will be history. 7 teams will be participating at the championship. Out of that 7 teams, Nigeria have 2, MFM and Nigerian Customs team, which is based here in the FCT. For MFM, they are based in Lagos, owned by that ministry. So let's leave that particular sport now. Still talking about Nigerians team doing well on the continent. Yes, their game was postponed, but despite the postponement, the team came out strong, came out smoky. This time around, we're talking handball. That it is the IHF trophy, continental trophy on the continent of Africa, where our under-18 male team for handball, the Green Arrows as they are called, defeated their South African counterpart, that is Zambia. It was 36-20 21, 36 goals scored against Zambia. I think that is total whitewash. And as we speak, in some hours from now, I think that game should be up and running this time. They will be playing against their second game against Ethiopia. But for the first game against Zambia, young boys, this time around it's not football, it is handball. Now beating Zambia 36-21. That's
a huge, wide goal margin anyway. But then they should not be carried away. They should not be, they should not take the Ethiopians, for granted, because when a team gives that kind of, performances, all eyes, focus on the team, so the Ethiopians will also be coming in with a mindset that, look, you know what, they defeated Zambia, they whitewashed the Zambians, but they're coming up to give them a different fight. So they have to ensure that, they keep their focus, they keep their mental strength together, they play, for a just cause, to ensure that, they don't take their previous result for granted by, defeating Zambia. Means they're going to meet Ethiopia and they have to give them a similar fight, so that in the end, they will be respected.
Okay, in the end, they will be respected. That game might just be up and running because it is their second game, and they would have played this game over the weekend, but because their game was postponed to Sunday, their first game, they will be having another game this morning back to back against their Ethiopian counterpart. All right, this time around we'll switch gear, but before we go into the Nigerian Premier Football League proper, we'll be looking at the results, we'll be looking at the table, we'll be looking at some stories. I think the Nigerian Premier Football League is getting interesting. Let's bring back that first video. We saw Ikorodu City beating Rivers United, spoiling their unbeaten run at the Unicom Stadium in Lagos, and we also have another highlight of the Nigerian Premier Football League game between Academy Warriors and Enyimba International of Aba. So let's just have these two videos back to back, and we'll be right back to talk more on the Nigerian Premier Football League, because it is our own. If we don't talk about it, no one will help us talk about it. The Nigerian Premier Football League is getting interesting indeed. Weekends, we are seeing fantastic goal, fantastic result. We have an away win this weekend. We will get to this and all of that after these videos.
In terms of the position on the scoreboard, they will have their national anthem sung first. It is the national anthem of Algeria.
Okay, that's the first goal coming in from Cole against Rivers United in match day 10, and the second goal was scored by Review, 48 minutes of action and the 53rd minute, or the two goals coming in the second half of that game. But the story is that Ikorodu City, they have ended Rivers United unbeaten run on match day 10. We now have only Academy Warriors now who has not lost a game this season. But for Rivers United, going to a difficult ground and a team that let me say have found their rhythm after they sacked their coach Ozegagbe, and now the team is playing fantastic football.
That shows you how much competitive the league is becoming. And as they say, always goes, nothing lasts forever. They've had a smooth run as far as the ongoing season is concerned, but unfortunately that actually came to an end last night in Ikorodu in Lagos against Ikorodu City FC. And for Ikorodu, I think they are enjoying the test of Nigerian Professional Football League, so they won't want to go back to the slump where they came from. So they have to keep giving a good fight so that they will stay in the league. And the organizers of the team, of the stakeholders and the administrators, I think they've done a wonderful work of putting the team like that, because just a few years ago they were playing the lower division, and then for them to guide the team all the way to the top flight, I think it's a very good one, and they have to keep the spirit high.
Okay, now they are the only community-based team in the Nigerian Premier Football League. It's not owned by one person. It's not owned by the state government. This team is owned by Ikorodu, a place called Ikorodu in Lagos, and as in playing fantastic football. These boys they are community boys, picked from that same community to be doing this great, fantastic job they are doing right now on the pitch in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
You see, when it comes to football is in Nigeria especially, it's a game that has actually taken a lot of attention, a lot of passion, and even to the people who don't play. So it's one aspect that it has brought a lot of joy to to the faces of many Nigerians. So for Ikorodu City, Ikorodu is actually a very strong neighborhood, well recognized in Lagos. Yes. In terms of talent and everything. So for them to come together and put together a team like this, it shows how much passionate they are about the game. And I think what drives the game, what makes the game even much more interesting is the passion. And if they have that passion driving the team, keeping the spirit together, trying to put the smiles on the faces of their home fans, I think it's actually going to be a very good one for them. They will have a long way to go, at the long run.
Okay, they will have actually enjoy life in the top flight of Nigerian Premier Football League. Now, let's look at the result, the full result for match day 10. We'll x-ray those results one after the other. Look at some of the talking points in those results, just as we did with Rivers United losing to Ikorodu City. But now we have two away wins, I beg your pardon. We have Heartland FC of Owerri in the Oriental Derby. They defeated Abia Warriors 2-0 away. Akwa United beat Kwara United 2-1 at the Eket Township Stadium in the Akwa Ibom State. Bayelsa United at the Samson Siasia Stadium, they shared the points with Enyimba Ward 1. Enugu Rangers beat Nasarawa United 2-0 at the Cathedral. I think this is the second time they will be scoring more than one goal in the season. Against Kano Pillars, they were able to score 3. This time around, they've scored 2, because we know them. They are a team that have been scoring one goal since the beginning of the season. And then Ikorodu City, the highlight we saw, beat Rivers United 2-0. Kano Pillars was 2-1 against Plateau United. Niger Tornadoes beat Shooting Stars of Ibadan 2-0. Remo Stars. It was a hard-fighting victory for Remo Stars at their stadium in Ikenne, 1-0 against struggling Lobby Stars, who have brought in a foreign manager to join Daniel Omokachi in that club. We have Sunshine Stars of Akure. They lost to Bendel Insurance, who they themselves are struggling. They are neighbors. Ondo and Edo State is not far from each other. 2-1, and then Academy Warriors pipped Katsina United 1-0. The only team, Academy, that has not lost this season. It was two of them, Rivers United and Academy, but Rivers United now, their own unbeaten run has been shattered by Ikorodu City. So it's now remaining Academy Warriors now 1-0 against Katsina United. But let's start with Heartland Abia Warriors, the Oriental Derby. It was all Eastern affairs. Amunike, I think this win it means something to Amunike because Heartland has really been fantastic. Since they even employed Amunike and since they bought that beyond limit slot in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
They refuse to accept that fact. You know, they always come out with some logic why they are still in the league. So I don't know if they actually bought the slot or not, because to them they came out clearly to to debunk the rumor. So for Emmanuel Amuneke, to whom much is given, much is expected, and now not also forgetting that this is his first stint in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and it's one kind of it's one personality that everybody respects. Judging by his exploit with the national team at the youth, the cadet level, with the under 17 2015, and the Tanzania national team. So it's one person that so many people respect and expect a lot from him, and coming into a team like Heartland, who have actually struggled for the past 2-3 seasons, and then coming to bring this huge stability to even have to secure an away win is a very huge one. It's a morale boosting result for them, and I just hope that he's giving the much needed support and the facilities and the environment to enable him do what he can do, because if you watch the team from the beginning of the season, they were struggling, but I think because he was also trying to understudy and understand the league, the terrain, being his first time handling the Nigerian Professional Football League team, like Heartland, who was a struggling team before his arrival.
They went on relegation, so they had to, like I said,
yes. So whatever mathematics they put together to make the team remain in the Nigerian Professional Football League, I mean that is left for the organizers and the league management. But then, as far as I'm concerned, they're in the league, and Amuneke is there, and I think he's somebody that will always want to keep maintaining his CV. So for me, the away result was not a fluke. It's just a result of hard work and determination, and what he has actually been able to bring in and inculcate into the minds of the lads he's got around him as his players.
Okay, let's have the result back now. Lobby Stars, your team. That eventually, unfortunately, that's your team. They were beaten 1-0. Though for Remo Stars, before they got that goal, they actually sweat for that 1-0 against Lobby Stars. And for Lobby Stars, they are trying to do everything they can by even bringing in a foreign manager to join Daniel the Bull Omokachi.
A lot of great teams sometimes do suffer, situations like moments like this, because as I say, nothing is permanent. So sometimes you're up there, and then sometimes you find yourself struggling at the bottom. But this morning, when I was looking at the log, I think it actually broke my heart, because I look at how can a team like Lobby Star, that is well respected in the middle belt and that part of the of the country, played 10 games and secure only 9 points. I mean that's quite poor. But then now the legendary Daniel Amokachi is there as a technical advisor, and they just brought in a Finnish tactician as the head coach. So let's see how the kind of impact and improvement they will bring into the team, and then subsequently let's see how they will be able to bounce back and then become a team to record things once again.
Okay, for Enugu Rangers, 2-0 against Nasarawa United at the Cathedral. Is it that their goal drought has ended, because this is the first time they will score two goals without even conceding in the Nigerian Premier Football League? Because though they had some clean sheets, they played a goalless draw back-to-back before this 2-0 victory against Nasarawa United, and it's as if it's a sign of good things that now, that goal drought, that should I say goal famine, has ended with Enugu Rangers.
Yeah, except to a situation where goal difference is required. But as far as I'm concerned, the team is doing well. They've been able to maintain some result, even though they considered a very painful win against Kano Pillars right in front of their home fans. But for Coach Fidelis Elechuku, I think he has a certain philosophy, and it's working for them. It does not matter how many goals you score. The most important thing is be able to keep the result.
The 3 points.
Yeah, get the 3 points.
Okay, now let's go straight to the table. Let's quickly have the Nigerian Premier Football League table, and we'll look at after match day 10 result. Like I said, 2 away wins. Abia Warriors, they lost at home to Heartland FC of Owerri, and Bendel Insurance also beating the Akura team, the Afonjan Warriors, in that game to win winner boys. They are also called winner boys to take away that victory 2-1 just 2 away wins in the Nigerian Premier Football. We will come back to that, seeing 2 away wins in match day 10. All right, Remo Stars now, by the virtue of Rivers United losing their game to Ikorodu City. Both teams now have 21 points. For Remo Stars, they are top of the table with 21 points, same number of goal difference and same number of matches played. Enyimba is third with 18 points after 10 games with 5 goal difference. We have Academy Warriors, a team that has not lost this season, on the 4th position with 16 points. We have Enugu Rangers now. They've shoot to the 5th position on the Nigerian Premier Football League table with 15 points. Plateau United is 6th with 14 points. Niger Tornadoes, they are 7th with 14 points. We have Kano Pillars of Kano on the 8th position with 14 points. Abia Warriors are 9th with -2 and 14 points on the 9th position. And Sunshine Stars of Akure, who lost to Bendel Insurance in match day 10 2-1 at the Akure Township Stadium, are 10th with 13 points. Let's go to the flip side of it, the second side of the table. We have Bendel Insurance now moved to the 11th position with 12 points. Heartland FC of Owerri have gradually moved out of the danger zone, now 12th position after 10 rounds of game with -1, 12 points. Same points with Katsina United, who are 13. They lost to Academy Warriors for Katsina. They have 12 points and -1 goal difference. Nasarawa United, also, who lost to Enugu Rangers, are 14th with 12 points and -2. Shooting Stars of Ibadan now 15th position under Kennedy Boboye, 12 points, and the 15th position. Kwara United is 16th, 11 points. Ikorodu City also gradually finding their way out of the danger zone, 11 points on the 17th position. Bayelsa United, Akwa United, Lobby Stars, these 3 teams are in the danger zone. Also for Ikorodu City, well, it's just 10 games, but they are also close, because if eventually the league ends today, these 3 teams will go on relegation: Bayelsa, Akwa United, and Lobby Stars. I think alongside I think the 4 teams will go. But as it stands right now, Ikorodu City is gradually moving out of that place. And like you mentioned, for Lobby Stars, what can we attribute the problem of Lobby Stars to? After this was a team that was doing so well last 2 seasons. They were one of the teams we thought would win the league last 2 seasons. Same thing last season. They started well, and this season, though we know the management has we now have a new people on board, are we going to say it contributed? Because the management that they brought in was to see changes, and it's as if the changes are not forthcoming for Lobby Stars.
Yeah, that was actually the primary aim of changing the management. But bringing a new management has actually cost us more more to that because the team was actually already had a bond, was already playing a good football, was already a kind of team that the players gel together. They could give a good account of themselves. But bringing in a new management, it brought in a lot of changes. The players, from the players to the management to the understanding and everything. So, and I'm not saying the players who are currently on donning the colors of Lobby Star are not good, but the thing is they also have to take time to acclimatize to the situation, to understand each other, because it's not sometimes always impossible to just change a team and bring in new players, crop of players, and then from the goalkeeping area to the defensive line to the midfield to the attack. So the players, they also need time to understand themselves, and also need time to understand each other, and which I also hope and wish the fans and whoever has entrusted them with that huge responsibility, especially enough to understand that sometimes the changes don't just take immediate effect as we expect. The expectations are high. We expect a lot from them. We want an immediate change, but it's something that has to undergo some processes, and I think that is the process. We are actually on the road to one of the processes, so we have to be patient with them. We have to give them more time, give the management, give the players, and then bringing in a foreigner. This is an entire different football game coming from Europe to coach a team in Nigeria. I mean, a lot of things are involved in Nigerian football. Most times it's not even what you play on the pitch of play that gives you the result. So he has to understand the politics, he has to understand that football in Nigeria is beyond playing on the pitch of play. So I hope everybody who is consigned and involved into the affairs of Lobby Star, has got that patient, that patient enough to give them time and understand that after within a period of time the team will be able to bounce back and then stand on their feet again.
Okay, now let's have the result back. Quickly. We'll go back to the result now. We have 2 away wins in match day 10. Now, looking at the Nigerian Premier Football League, I think a whole lot is gradually changing from the officiating quality of play from the teams, the quality of teams, tactical prowess of the coaches we are seeing in the league. I think he's gradually bringing the kind of change we want.
Exactly, because you could see from the coaching aspect, tactical input of the coaches. A lot of the coaches in the Premier, in our professional football league, they've actually they've gone for the freshman courses. The likes of Kennedy Boboye, the Olarun Waju, or the Imba coach, and the Lechuko, and so many of them. I think it's actually a good one because football is a game that as the world revolves, it changes. So you cannot continue dwelling on the past glory. So it's something that we have to keep to date, and they've updated their CV, they've updated their knowledge, and then that has actually brought a huge change and effect, positive effect, to the game and the way the teams now play football. So it's just question of time, and Nigerian Professional Football League will be recognized again.
Okay, Nigerian football will be recognized again. And now we are still looking at it. Now we now see more goals in the Nigerian Premier Football League, because if you look at March the 10th, 2 goals in the game of Heartland against Abia Warriors, 3 goals in the game between Aqua United and Kwara United, 2 goals in the game between Bayelsa United and Enyimba, 2 goals in Enugu Rangers game against Nasarawa United, same 2 goals in the game between Ikorodu City and Rivers United. Kano Pillars also recorded 3 goals in that game. Niger Tornadoes against Shooting Stars was 2 goals. Remo Stars just 1 goal. And then for Sunshine Stars of Akure game against Bendel Insurance, it was also 2 goals. So just 2 games we recorded 1-1 goal. That is Remo Stars and Ekanemi Warriors. This is something over the years in the Nigerian Premier Football, though in the 90s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s, we used to see Nigerian club side scoring goals, as in more goals. But I think we are gradually getting back to that stage, because if you look at it, at least 2 goals. If you look at the rating, the goals have gradually started coming. Our strikers now are now showing prowess and potent in front of goal.
It's about tactical improvement of the coaches. Bringing in a huge input to the game, changing the pattern of play. In the past we used to consider our style of play as kick and follow, where the attackers they forward, they wait for second ball to drop so that they will slot in. Either they win a spot kick and then 1 goal and all that. But then now they see every team wants to possess the ball, they want to keep the ball down, they want to play the ball, they want to entertain the fans, they want to play good football, because they want to, the players as well want to sell out their talents, so they play, and then in most cases, often cases, you see the best team having the better of the day.
Okay, the best team having at least taken the better side of taking the shine of that game. Yes, like you've seen on the screen, the result. We have just 2 games that recorded 1-1 goal. That the game of Academy Warriors and Remo Stars. But for the other games, at least we had more than 2 goals in each of the remaining 8 games in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and that is what it is. When improvement. Before we leave the Nigerian Premier Football League, your own general assessment, and what area do you think is still at least since the improvement is coming, we still have other areas that need massive improvement?
The basic challenge that we're having in the league now is it's not about the quality of the players, it's about the quality of the facilities that these guys are playing these games on, the substandard pitches, and that affects their games, they affect their potentials, because you cannot play good football on a bad pitch. For instance, as far as I'm concerned, Nikan Stadium is still, a third world facility, and the rest of them, maybe even Remo Star now, because the team has brought in a lot of play, a lot of glamour into the game, by setting a certain standard. But they also need to update their facilities. For Rangers, for me, I think their pitch is completely out of it. Okay. So they need to get good facilities. They need to get updated facilities, modern facilities, to enhance these guys, express themselves freely on the pitch of play. Because if you do not have a good pitch, if you do not have a smooth pitch, there's no way you can play good football. But sometimes the football is best played, on the ground. So that's why you see most times you see these players kicking balls, to the head. Every time they have a ball, they kick it to the air, because they cannot keep the ball on the ground. They cannot keep the ball, on the floor to possess the positioning of the game, because of the bad, condition of the pitches. So if we're able to, get good pitches, update our, pitches to the modern standard, and create more modern facilities to the guys and give them good lectures on how to play modern football. I think the talent is never in question. We have abundant talent. We have numerous talent that can actually give the fans a run for their money. But what we just need now is for me, I think that is one area that we need to concentrate and improve on. Let's have a standard facilities, modern facilities, and then the rest will be all right.
Okay, the rest will actually follow. We need standard facilities. All the clubs, the 20 clubs playing the Nigerian Premier Football League need standard pitches, standard facilities, training centers to enhance the talents already discovered. When you talk of talents, they are everywhere in this country. They just need to be discovered, harnessed, brewed, refined, and show them to the world. That is what we need. All right, let's leave the Nigerian Premier Football League. Nigerian Premier Football League. It was match day 10 and fantastic game, fantastic result in the weekend. This time around, we'll leave the shores of the country and go straight to Europe. We're talking EPL. I know a lot of Chelsea fans, some Man U fans say they should thank their stars and they should go and thank Garnacho for missing some sitters in that game. But it was also good games in the in the English Premier Football League, EPL, in the course of the weekend. And yes, another giant killer in the course of the weekend in the EPL was Newcastle United against Arsenal 1-0. Alexander Isak getting that goal against the Gunners. And then for AFC Bournemouth, the giant killers themselves, back to back, they've beaten two teams that are topping in the English Premier League. Last weekend it was Arsenal, and this time around they defeated Arsenal, and now they've also beaten Manchester City. Semenyo, the Ghanaian player who has not played for Ghana, getting on the score sheet against Manchester City in that game, 2-1. And then for Ipswich Town and Leicester City, that is a Wilfred Ndidi's team, Leicester City, it was 1-1. And then for Liverpool, Salah continued to break all the records in the English Premier League, 2-1 against Brighton after Brighton went in front in that game. Nottingham Forest, yes. This team, the last time they tasted where they are on the table was in the 1950s and 1960s season. They hammered West Ham 3-0 on Lionel, high flying on Lionel. Very informed right now, getting on the score sheet in that game. His first EPL goal. And Southampton beat Everton 1-0. Joe Aribo's team, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Crystal Palace, it was 2-2. And for Tottenham Hotspur, 4-1 against Aston Villa after Aston Villa went ahead in that game. At the end of the day, it was 4-1 against Aston Villa. And Manchester United and Chelsea share the spoils at Old Trafford, 1-1 after Bruno Fernandes put Manchester United ahead from the spot before Caicedo, fantastic goal in that particular game at Old Trafford, 1-1. But the surprising result is going to be these two results in EPL. Newcastle United, Arsenal, and AFC Bournemouth against Manchester City. But for Bournemouth, they beat Gunners, and now they've defeated Man City. What a way to go in the English Premier League. We will still get to the table, and we'll talk about Nottingham Forest on the table, but their result was also fantastic.
That might be considered, a surprising result, but considering the fact that Arsenal and Manchester City are title hopefuls. But trust me, Bournemouth is a team that plays good football. And for Newcastle, remember they've invested hugely into the game, bringing new players and having quality signings. But for me, the most eye-catching result is that of Nottingham Forest against West Ham
United.
Nottingham, the West Ham are also known as the Hammers, and then Nottingham, the Forest, hammering the Hammers. I mean, it's,
of course.
So, but it shows how stiff the competition is becoming by the day, and it shows that nobody is has the monopoly of having the results the way they want. It's what you play that determines the outcome of the result. So I think it's a good one for Bournemouth. It's a morale boosting result for them. Killing Arsenal, and then now the Manchester, the giant of the Manchester, which is the Manchester City, and for Newcastle, they've invested hugely into the team, and they need to prove to the investors, to the owner, that look, your investment is not in vain.
Okay, and the whole we're doing well with Newcastle United. For Nottingham Forest, let's go straight to the table and we'll see where Nottingham Forest is on the table after that win. Surprisingly, you're surprised? They are on the third. This is a team that also won the Champions League the last time. Nottingham Forest was on this particular position as in first to third on the English Premier League table was the 1950s and 1960s season. Now Liverpool goes back to the top of the table, and Slot doing so well with that team after they went behind against Brighton. Manchester City lost. They have 23 points, 2 points ahead of them. Liverpool now. Nottingham Forest, surprisingly, like I said, third with 19 points. Chelsea now moved to the fourth position with 18 points. Arsenal now drops to fifth position, 18 points. Aston Villa drops also to sixth position with 18 points. Tottenham Hotspur seventh, moving to the seventh position, 16 points. Brighton eighth position, 16 points. Bournemouth ninth with 15 points, and then Newcastle United is on the third position with 15 points. Let's go to the flip side of the table quickly. Let's look. Brentford starting the flip side. Fulham has a game in hand. Both teams have a game. I think they're going to be battling each other later on tonight. We'll look at that fixture on the sport update in the evening show. Man United remains 13th position, and for Man U, this is the worst season ever. They have after 10 games having 12 points. They were at this same position, this same number of points in 1986 when Sir Alex Ferguson took over that team, and eventually that season they went on relegation before they came back, and it was a story, good story for Manchester United after that season.
Unfortunately, Eric Ten Hag came into the team without having a clear knowledge of who the team is and the history behind Manchester United, and the players also. The lot of signings that they had during the Eric Ten Hag's time with them. They failed to realize how huge, how historical Manchester United is, and now they've drafted in their former player Ruud van Nistelrooy as the interim coach, and I think he's one guy that understands what truly Manchester United stand for. The symbol, the history, the locker room, and he also has a very huge personality and charisma. So even having securing a point against a team like Liverpool yesterday shows how much improvement. I mean Chelsea, sorry to say, shows how much improvement the team is willing to. And for Bruno Fernandes, he sent an apology letter to Eric Ten Hag. He said, "Sorry, sir, probably I would have done better for you, but unfortunately you are no more." So it's good that the players realize this thing, and they are in a different era now, because Ruud van Nistelrooy was a player that played under Alex Ferguson. He understands what winning is. He understands the history behind Manchester United, and he won't take that for granted, and he won't even compromise that for anything. So the players should realize that anybody who is willing to give their all should give, and whoever is not willing to do that will be shipped out. He made it clear to them, before everyone's face.
Okay, good one for Manchester United. It shows that the players never wanted to play under Eric Ten Hag. 1-1 at Old Trafford. Wolves is at the bottom of the English Premier Football League. I beg your pardon, not the NPFL. Lobby Stars is at the bottom of our league, but a good way to go. Now let's go straight to Italian Serie A, where this man keeps performing, showing us that yes, he deserves to be among the top 10 Ballon d'Or players ratings, but 14th he ended, but he continues to show that yes, these African best deserve to win it. Ademola Lookman, fantastic against Napoli in that their win. He got a brace and also an assist, and after that he was awarded man of the match. I think CAF should just say, okay, let's announce him before the date of the award, though it still has to go through voting process, but it's all clear that Ademola Lookman should not be overlooked for the CAF awards.
Yes, from the moment he was nominated, his name was drafted among the nominees for CAF prestigious award. I said it that there is a well-reserved, it's deserving, because considering what he did with the national team and also his club in the last season, and then taking the same form of last season to this new season, and breaking records. He keeps scoring, he keeps bringing new things into the team. Shows clearly that the CAF actually had a fair decision by nominating him, and hopefully, as a Nigerian, we're all hoping that at the end of the day, he brings the crown home.
Okay, at the end of the day, he brings the crown home for Ademola Lookman. Fantastic season so far for him since the beginning of this season, and in that game against Napoli, who are top in the table, he got a brace and also an assist. 3-0, it ended at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. They were beaten at their home, and somebody say yes, it's payback time. Ademola Lookman wears number 11 jersey. Victor Osimhen also wear 11 jersey for Napoli when he was there. So he said, I pay you back with what you did to my brother. All right, let's quickly go to the results and have the full result of matches played in the weekend. Other games will be coming up tonight. We'll have Bologna beat Lecce 1-0. Udinese. It was a howler from our own Maduka Okoye, but it can happen to any goalkeeper, an own goal. 2-0 against Udinese, Juventus winning that game. Monza were pipped at home by AC Milan 1-0. Napoli were trashed by Atlanta 3-0. Fiorentina 1-0 against Torino, and Roma lost to Hellas Verona 3-2, and Inter Milan beat Venezia 1-0. Just the two home wins in the Italian Serie A for the games played so far this weekend. All right, let's look at the table quickly and see what that means for Atlanta. Let's just run over it. Napoli still remains at the top of the table with 25 points, 1 point ahead of Inter, who are second with 24 points. Atlanta now third position with 22 points. Fiorentina fourth with 22 points. Juventus is fifth with 21 points. Lazio sixth with 19 points. AC Milan is seventh with 17 points. I have Udinese on the 8th position with 16 points. Bologna on the 9th position with 15 points. Torino 10th with 14 points. The flip side of it, let's look at the flip side of it quickly. Genoa at the bottom with 6 points. Lecce 19 with 8 points. Venezia 18th position with 8 points. Monza 8 points. And we have Cagliari 16th position with 9 points. Como 9 points. Parma 9 points. And Empoli has 11 points on the 13th position. Hellas Verona 12 with 12 points minus 8 goal difference. And Roma is on the 11th position with 13 points. So congratulations to Ademola Lookman for putting up a star performance, a 7-star performance in that game against Atlanta, getting a brace and also getting an assist. At the end of the day, he was named the most valuable player of that match. So congratulations to him for doing so well for club and country, and we hope he continues with this form, and definitely, maybe, just maybe, he might be the first Nigerian, if he continues this way, to win the Ballon d'Or and also join the likes of George Oponwe, who has won the world best player before. But let's see how it goes. We also have other good players coming up for Nigeria. All right, before we go away from the show, let's look at this story. This time around, table tennis, and somebody asked the question before coming into the studio: when will this man retire? Aruna Quadri sailed into WTT, that is World Table Tennis Round of 16 Championship in Frankfurt, Germany. For this man, I think he has seen it all when it comes to table tennis. We just need his replacement. That is just in 10 seconds.
Age is just a number. Once you have the mental youthfulness in you, the mindset is young, and he's the kind of person that wants to leave a good legacy. So I think he's doing well, and let him continue to do well until someone comes in to step into his shoes.
Okay, let him continue to do well until someone steps into his shoe. Let's have that result back quickly, where he beat Tom Kazu. I think at that name, he lost the first set. If we look at it, he lost the first set 7-11, and then from the third set, he took it by storm 11-14-11. Now for Tomakazu Hamoto of Japan, he won the first set 11-7 against Aruna, 13-11, 5-11, 12-14. 3-11. The last set was where Aruna said, okay, I'm going to take my day. Total whitewash 11-3 against Tomakazu Hamoto of Japan. All right, that is what we'll be leaving it on the show this morning. Wilfred, thanks for coming on 360. It's good having you on the show.
It's always my pleasure.
Okay, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.